Hi guys, Mr. Star again. Today I wanted to talk about a specific type of problem that we see with slope-intercept form. And it's when we're asked to write slope-intercept form given a slope and an ordered pair. But notice that this ordered pair isn't necessarily the y-intercept. Remember, our slope-intercept form needs to be y equals m, which is the slope, x, plus the y-intercept. Well, none of these ordered pairs are the y-intercept, so it's not like I can just build my equation and be done. There's actually a little work to do in between having my final product and where I am now. So let's start with what we know, right? How would I do this normally? Well, what I would do normally is I would say, okay, well, it's going to be y equals my slope, which is negative 2x, but then I kind of run out of gas, right? I need my y-intercept. I don't have it. Well, for now, what I want us to do is I want you to write plus b. And we're actually going to solve for this b by using some information that we have, right? So once I have this b, then I can build my equation to be done and call it slope-intercept form, but I don't have b yet. So I need to do some work to get there, right? So this is y equals my slope, which is negative 2x, and then plus b. That's, again, just kind of holding the place of my y-intercept for now. Okay, well, what can I do? Well, here's kind of like the neat part of this one. Remember, all ordered pairs are x, y, right? So what's actually kind of cool here is that I actually have an x and y value for this equation. So what can I do? Well, I can actually substitute these values into this equation so that I can solve for b. Watch how we do it. Notice that my y value is 5. So what I can do is I can say, okay, instead of y, let me put 5 equals, my slope is negative 2. That's fine, that stays the same. I'm going to multiply that by x. Well, my x value is negative 1. What I still don't know is my b, and that's actually what I'm solving for. Now, what's neat about this is I'm pretty close to being finished here because, as you can see, there's kind of just some quick math to do here. Let's start with what we know. Well, negative 2 times negative 1, I can simplify that. I like to rewrite everything. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2 plus b. Okay, now this just kind of turns into a one-step equation where I can subtract 2 from both sides. And what you've just done is you've solved for your y-intercept. So what this means is your graph will cross the y-intercept at positive 3. Now that we have b, I can come back to my original equation and replace plus b with plus 3. And you now have an equation in slope-intercept form. Let's take a look at the next one. Again, same kind of thing, right? Y equals 8/5 x. Well, I don't know my b in this case, so plus b. My ordered pair this time is 5, 5. So it kind of makes it easy when I substitute because both values are going to be the same. So let's rewrite it with substituted numbers. 5 equals 8/5 times 5. Again, because both my x and y value were 5, plus b. And let's simplify a little bit here. 5 8/5 times 5 turns out just to be 8 plus b. Continuing even further, again, now I have a one-step equation to solve. How do I solve it? Well, I got to get rid of this positive 8, so how do I do that? I subtract 8 on both sides. 5 minus 8 gives me negative 3, which equals b. And again, there's my y-intercept. So what I can do is I can come back to my original equation, erase my y-intercept, and notice I'm going to get rid of the plus sign this time because I have a negative y-intercept. So I'm going to replace that plus sign with a minus, and I now have an equation in slope-intercept form. Last but not least, well, my slope is negative 4/7. Y equals negative 4/7 x plus b. I don't know my b yet. It's what I'm looking for. So let's solve by using my x and y values. Remember, it's always x, y. Well, my y value is negative 4 equals, let's see, negative 4/7 times 5 plus b. Now, it might get a little tricky here, but that's okay. We'll work through it. We need to think about what is negative 4/7 times 5. Now, again, whole number times a fraction, we would just multiply the numerator. So here's how this would look. Negative 4 equals negative 20 over 7 plus b. Well, I'm going to have to do some adding and subtracting of fractions here. And if you have a calculator, you can definitely go right for this. But before we do that, why don't we convert the whole number 4 into sevenths, because that's kind of what we're dealing with here is sevenths. So 4, the whole number 4 in terms of sevenths would be, or negative 4 for that matter, would be negative 28 over 7. And that equals negative 20 over 7 plus b. And again, all I did there is just converted that negative 4 into a sevenths, because I know that I'm going to have to solve and I need my common denominator in order to do that. If you have a calculator that can handle that sort of thing, then this step isn't really necessary. You can kind of just jump straight to the answer if a calculator can do it for you. But, I don't have one handy here, so we'll just work it out. Well, I'm ready to solve now. I need to solve for b, so I'm going to add 20 sevenths to both sides. Negative 28 sevenths plus 20 sevenths will leave me with negative 8 sevenths, and that would equal b. Well, that's kind of where we need to be, is we have our y-intercept, so now we're ready to substitute back into our original equation. Again, I'll get rid of the plus sign because my y-intercept is negative, so I'll handle that by writing a minus sign, and 8 sevenths is my y-intercept. 3 quick examples that are kind of each unique in their own way. But that's all I have for you today in this one, guys. We'll talk to you in the next one.